piece that completes a whole part of me, an open wound scar to see. Everybody come here, gather round, welcome to the freak show, the best in town. What the hell's wrong with me? I don't get along with anybody, honestly. Change all the things I lack, I gotta face the facts, I got a taste in that. Got me obsessed with the rest, I got an itch to scratch. No way now, I'll give up everything. Daunting thought, if I could see my dreams, I'll make things right. 'Cause I'll do anything to make what I want a reality. Don't let go, don't let go. I'll make things right. 'Cause I'll do anything to make what I want a reality.
I just wanna find a way out, sick of the venom in my brain. Running from the past, wanna escape my pain. I just wanna be a better person, I deserve this. I just wanna break these chains. Always asking for greatness, true to myself, I never fake it. Seen too many once that I so they get famous. And when I say the truth, most really can't take it. In spite of everything I've been through, I'ma make it. Fake friends, but on my downfall is toxic. Day one, started to outlaws for profit. Now all I do is write verses, no talking. All I do is put the work in, no option. This was everything I ever wanted. Created a legacy off of me, just being honest. And the fake ones hate, but it's all to no avail. They wanna see me lose, but you know I never fail.
I'll give up everything, daunting thought. If I
Hey guys, welcome back again to the Leapcast. Welcome back again to Quantum Leap, Leapcast here at Dave's Dimension. So guys, we're back again. We're away for a few weeks, a little bit of a hiatus, and then last week there was some chaos and insanity that went on, so we were not back until right now. So I want to say hello to a few people in the chat. We got Darth Blaze saying hello, friends. Darth Blaze, I hope you're doing well. And you're cracking me up with the latest addition to your family, your kitten, and its Instagram is cracking me up because it reminds me of my little River when she was little. She's not so little anymore, but just as crazy and adorable. So, but guys, we're here for Quantum Leap Leapcast. It's been a few weeks. This week I'm running solo. No Super Awesome Geek Show, and also Wolfpack. I believe he's out and about either working or his kids have sports games, you know. It's that time of year. So if anyone wants to join me here in the Dimension to discuss the last 2 episodes of Quantum Leap, it's an open stream. Click that link and jump on right into the imaging chamber here. So I hope everyone's doing well. Quantum Leap, past 2 weeks, I thought yesterday was a pretty decent episode. I was hoping for a little bit more, but we didn't quite get what I was hoping for. The week before, it definitely felt like that kind of family storyline that Scott Bakula in the OG Quantum Leap was really known for. But I don't know. To me personally, it felt kind of generic in a way. It was cool that they're kind of throwing it was the early 2000s, and Ben mentioned, well, wasn't that like the whole rage about the pop-up restaurants, which was pretty cool. Again, some of it felt a little status quo. We got Magic and Jen questioning Ian. Is Ian a leaper? Obviously, at this point in time, Ian is coming off as if he is not a leaper. That obviously he's going to leap pretty soon in the future. Darth Blaze says, "Room looking awesome, always, Dave." Honestly, it's a mess. I really need to reorganize things. Of course, we got the proton pack sitting in the back as in its charging station. Proton charging. Got to get ready for that next job. As you can see, I got tons of stands here, but we're going to be reorganizing things a little bit. Got a few surprises coming through the pipeline. By the way, anyone who is not following Dave's Dimension, if you stumbled across this channel, please do me an awesome favor, and you guys know what you can do. hit that bell for notifications, hit the little red button, follow the channel. This is now the Leapcast is a part of Dave's Dimension, the channel where chaos and insanity will always reign supreme, and your home for tech, toys, and talk. And guys, we have a lot of tech coming through the pipeline. Those who are creators, like Darth Blaze and so many others, for out and about, maybe we're doing a toy hunt, maybe we're at a Comic-Con and we want to interview someone. I have something coming in that's going to plug right into here, and you're going to have some like the lavalier mics, but it's all Bluetooth connected to your cell phone, so it's going to grab all the audio, and it's supposed to be good for up to 65 feet. So we got that coming through the pipeline. Also, Dave's mentioned, Dave, I'm getting a new bike. Those who've been following the channel know that I've had a few issues with the bike I purchased last year. We're going to be selling that on Facebook Marketplace or Craigslist or something. I'll be lucky if I can get a third or even a quarter of what I paid for it. Sad but true. But thanks to some finagling, again, I've had to sell a few of my prized collectibles, namely some of my Power Ranger stuff, and I'm also selling my Hot Toys so I can get the funds, and I'm going to be getting an e-bike. So yeah, not only we're going to be reviewing a few pieces of technology, like like I did the PS5, and some accessories for on-the-go recording, especially since it's Comic-Con season for a lot of people. Legacy of a Nerd, you know who I'm talking about. So if you are someone who's on the go, maybe you want to do an interview with someone, this is going to be something that fits in the palm of your pocket. Bam, snap it into your USB or Lightning jack, and you have two Bluetooth-style mics that just clip onto whatever clothing you have and the other person, so it catches both audios and it records it with your video. It's going to be a no-brainer, guys. The e-bike, I'm not just going to a store and purchasing it. I'm going to be having the bike shipped here, and I'll be assembling it. But this bike just wait. There's a stream. There's a video coming soon, guys. You guys don't want to miss that. Let's take a look at everybody else. We got the man, the myth, the diorama maestro himself, Duffman's diorama. Blaze, of course, complimenting the room. We got the frightful one, the one you never want to get on her bad side, Freya, the chosen one, the better half of Berserker bloodline, of course. And by the way, hide your Twix when you're near her, guys. Hide your Twix. That's all I gotta say. We got Mr. B in the house. Mr. B saying, hey, Dave. Mr. B, I hope you're doing well. We're doing a little Quantum Leap cast. This is probably going to be a quick stream because I'm thinking I might do a stream maybe around 10 o'clock tonight. Maybe we'll do a little 2-hour stream just talking about the latest and greatest that's going on in the dimension. Maybe we'll do a few unboxings later on tonight at 10 o'clock. That's going to be a separate stream, though. But we're just going to do a quick, maybe a 1-hour stream talking about Quantum Leap. Mr. B saying hello to Captain. Freya saying hello to Captain. Freya saying hello, Mr. B. The frightful one. Sounds accurate these days. Well, I'm not going to wager or take any guesses here because I want to live. But I hope everyone's doing well. So, Quantum Leap, those that don't know, long story short, it was about a scientist who theorized that he could time travel within his own lifetime, leaping from life to life, hoping to make right what once are wrong, and hoping each time that the next leap would be the leap home. It was the original scientist, Sam Beckett, was pressured to prove his theories or lose funding. The government was like, you're going to show us that this works or we're going to cut you off. So he stepped into the accelerator before his machine was perfected, and he was virtually lost in time. He would leap into people's bodies, and those people would be in his. The kind of trading places. He had a holographic observer on this journey named Al, who appeared in the form of a hologram that only Sam can see and hear. And he leaped from life to life. And we never saw what happened to Sam Beckett, and we still don't know where Sam is in space and time. Fast forward to 2022, they launched a new show. Very similar. The project known as Quantum Leap has been revived. And it's set up somewhere else in a metropolitan area of California. We don't know exactly where. I'm guessing kind of LA. The Duffman says Berserker is sick. He needs soup. Freya's like, how's hubby? Everyone's asking about Berserker. That's great. I hope he's feeling well. Hope everything gets better. I know weather has been crazy, and this is the kind of time of year when everyone's sick and just congested. I'm always congested, But this new series of Quantum Leap, it has a little bit of a twist. The Quantum Leap accelerator has not been perfected, but the lead scientist, Dr. Ben Song, steps into the accelerator, and now he's leaping from life to life. But after weeks and weeks, we finally found out that it was on a mission. He's on a mission, some kind of point in time where he needs to save his fiancée, Addison. She was supposed to be the leaper, but now she's the observer. And after several episodes, not only do we find out that Al's daughter, Janice, was trying to help Ben, but now we find out that there's someone else leaping through time. We find out that there's another project at some point in time. We don't exactly know where. And this person is on some kind of a mission, and we don't know how. But we know this person knows of Dr. Ben Song. He knows about Project Quantum Leap. And we also find out that Ian, who's like the head scientist or head computer guru, theorist, whatever you want to call them, Ian leaps. Not the currently Ian, but an older Ian will step into the accelerator and leap. Because we find out that Jen and Magic go to this one bar where there's a barista, who apparently has lost some time. And the barista says, well, here, I drew pictures of this person that I saw in my head that I can't get out of my head. It's pictures of Ian. So at some point in time, Ian is going to step into the accelerator and go back in time and give Ben information, possibly the program, to plot the trajectory where Ben is eventually leaping to. All we know is it has to do with something about saving Addison, and that's pretty much where we're at. Last week's episode, he leaped into a sister in an Indian family who were they were trying to run an Indian restaurant, but the father had borrowed money, father had passed away, and they owe tons of money. It was more of an emotional family kind of episode. Not a whole lot story gained, at least not in my perspective. Let's catch up here. Freya says he's about the same, to be honest, like Dave said, weather and have a kid in elementary school too. And, oh, geez, yeah. Kids, let's face it, grade school is like a petri dish. You get rid of some bacteria, there's a new bacteria lurking around. Berserker is supporting in the background. He says, hey, everyone. Hey, Berserker, I hope you're feeling better, man. If you need anything, just hit us up. If you need us to ship a box of Twix to you and not Freya, just let us know. We'll make it happen. She doesn't need to know. We got Collecting with Cool. What's up, Dave? Hey, I'm doing great, Collecting. I hope you're doing great. By the way, guys, this is the Quantum Leapcast. This is kind of a guilty pleasure of mine. I love the original Quantum Leap. I read the novels after the original series ended. And it's great to have the show back. There are a lot of subtle differences. I like that they're making it their own. But, I still like to get on here and discuss it, whether we have people who watch it or not. I appreciate you guys. So I know some of you guys may or may not be fans of Quantum Leap. And I love that you guys are coming out, supporting the channel, supporting the stream. So, Duffman says, I'm sick too, but I think it's from the amount of... oh boy, I'm not going there. Orgel, he's digested in the past 3 days. Well, I hope you're feeling better, Duffman. Everyone's saying hello. Mr. B says, hey, Brett. Duffman says, Brett. Everyone's saying, Brett. Freya says, oh gosh, Duffman, probably. So everyone's hanging out. Quantum Leap this week was a little bit better. We had special guest star, Brandon Routh, who was Superman from Superman Returns. Also, he was the Atom from DC's Legends of Tomorrow. He's also been in other films and other shows. He was actually a bad guy on the series Chuck, and he also did a movie called Dylan Dog, which is kind of a Constantine Dresden Files kind of a fun movie. It's not anything you're going to spend $10 on at theaters, but it's kind of a fun kind of a quirky movie you might want to check out. dealing with the demons in the underworld. It's a fun little movie, and I definitely recommend it. Brandon Routh is an amazing actor, at least in my opinion. I love him as Ray Palmer on, of course, in the Arrowverse, on both Arrow and on The Flash, and of course DC Legends of Tomorrow. I'm curious to see what he has coming through the pipeline. There's a lot of crazy stuff going on with that. But he plays Addison's father, because it just so happens that Ben leaps into an operations officer, I think Commander Rossi or Lieutenant Commander Rossi, on a ship in the late 80s, early 90s. And that ship happens to have the XO, the executive officer, is Commander Augustine, which is, Addison's father. And we find out she finds out a hell of a lot going on. She thought her father was this hard-nosed person, and he left her family, and it turns out that he's really a good guy, and he was talking about leaving his family because he found that his wife just didn't love him anymore, even though he loved her and loved the daughter and everything. So, I mean, it was flipping the script on it. I thought that Addison should have shown, the actress who plays Addison could have shown a little bit more emotion. I think the writing suffered just a little bit in this episode. As someone who writes, I'm not a professional writer. I used to write stories when I was in high school and college. I still dabble a little bit. So when I see shows like this, when I see movies like this, there's so much more that they could have... there could have been a little bit more emotion. I don't know if it just wasn't there in the script, or maybe the actress wasn't able to kind of dig and portray that. I mean, Addison, she comes off, I get that her background is she's a military officer. She's from the Army. I get that. But the problem I have with this is, I mean, she should be showing more emotion. I mean, let's pedal it back a little bit. Before we do, Collecting with Cool says Scott Bakula was awesome on the show. I loved it. Hated how it ended. Probably more because it ended. This one is a good take that I hope they let us stretch into multiple seasons. Well, Collecting with Cool, if you're not aware of it, we are already greenlit for season 2. Quantum Leap, we'll see a season 2 next year, so we're really excited about that. And I'm hoping that maybe we'll get a certain actor who has the initials SB make an appearance. I'm definitely thinking it's possible, especially with the season 2. It's going to be interesting to see how the writing goes. With most TV shows, you have your base season, your pilot season, and it's kind of like trying to find its footing. I still think they're struggling a little bit here and there, but I like that this Quantum Leap takes it's like half and half. They take a good chunk of the show, and it's taking place in the present, which we really didn't get in the original Quantum Leap. But also, you gotta figure, this is a show in the 2020s. In 2022, and the original Quantum Leap was actually aired in 1989. So right in the beginning of the 90s. So I mean, you got a big gap right there. It's a good, it's a good time frame, good stretch between the two shows. Obviously, you have to have a different beast, but I hated how the original Quantum Leap ended. Finally, Sam comes to the realization that he controls his leaps. And he's in his own body. And he rights that wrong in Al's life. And we never got to see what happened afterwards. We never find out what happens afterwards. I read a lot of the novels. There was even a limited Quantum Leap comic book series. I want to say that was by IDW, but I think it was by a different company. But yeah, I mean, there's a lot of unanswered questions, like about the original project. And something else happens in this episode. I'm going to get into that in just a few minutes. But I really think the show is, I mean, I'm not trying to put the actor down who plays Ben Song, but he needs to convey, I don't know, a little bit more emotion. The big thing about the original Quantum Leap, and I'm sure Collecting with Cool is going to agree with me, maybe Mr. B and a few others who are watching. The original Quantum Leap, we never saw Sam Beckett's original personality. Okay. Because I say original personality because when he stepped into the accelerator for the very first time and he landed back in the 50s, he had no memory. He didn't know who he was. He didn't know where he woke up. Like, because when you quantum leap, when you leap through time, the original, at least in the original show, your memory had these peaks and valleys. You had these gaps in your memory. They call this Swiss cheese. My brain is Swiss cheese. I can't remember my last name. Or, hey, I can remember I love chocolate pudding, but I can't remember, my favorite color. Little things like that. And that was, when you do that, when you kind of erase some of the slate, and the person is kind of putting breadcrumbs together, they're getting bits and pieces back, they're developing into a different person. We've already seen this with Ben. In the very first few episodes, we saw Ben being real nervous and didn't know what to do, but then we saw him on a space shuttle. In a space shuttle, in a spacesuit, he actually takes a flying leap off the space shuttle on the way to the Russian space station Mir. We see Ben actually knocking people out, doing fighting. We see him risking his life, and even Addison in one of the episodes, she confides in Ian. She's like, Ben is becoming this other person, and it's like I'm falling in love with him all over again, but he's different. And I think that was one of the better acting scenes that the actress who plays Addison has done, because she's showing she's conveying this, like, she's like, it's like I don't know him anymore. And that's the thing, when the original show Quantum Leap, Sam Beckett, he was technically he was married, but he didn't remember he was married, and that allowed him morally to be free to, there was times when he would have to fall in love with a woman, or he had to show affection towards someone, and he wouldn't have been able to do that if he knew he was married. So, I mean, that's one of the great things about Quantum Leap. I mean, they have these great possibilities. I'm not talking like relationship wise. I mean, there's these tremendous possibilities that, you're leaping through time. And Ben kind of, I don't know, it seems like everything, like all his information is served up on a platter, so to speak. And I'm not just talking when Addison is there. Like when Sam or Scott Bakula as Sam Beckett would leap, he would leap in, he's trying to scrounge for information. He was very emotional. Sam Beckett was the Boy Scout. He really was. And Ben, I don't know, something just doesn't sit right. When I'm watching Ben's song, it feels kind of weird. It really does. I think I want to say it's the writing, but Martin Giroux and everyone else who's involved with the show, we have executive producers and creators. Don Belisario is executive producer credit on here, and so is Deborah Pratt. They were the original executive producers, and at one point they were married to each other. Deborah Pratt's the original voice of Ziggy, and that's another thing. We have them talking to Ziggy in the future, or in our present, I should say, but we don't hear a voice. I think that's a missed opportunity. I think the fans would love to hear Ziggy's voice. And I'm sure Deborah Pratt would be all for it, but maybe she's too busy, or maybe they think that would take away from the show, or I don't know what's really going on. Yeah, Collecting Cool says, Quantum Leap 89, I was 17. Yeah, he says, oh boy. I mean, it was a classic show. I mean, Ben, I don't know. Ben still has yet to get a catchphrase, really. I mean, yes, I get that he's supposed to be a completely different person. He's not Sam Beckett, but he's a scientist. He's someone who's extremely brilliant, who's above their generation, so to speak. And we should see that same kind of personality kind of emerging. That person who wants to do good, because he has his own loss. His mother dying when he was young, He has all this other strife, and we've had them address it a few times, but part of Sam's driving force was his father died because of smoking. His father died. He lost his brother in Vietnam, or in the original history, which of course he fixed thanks to leaping into magic in Vietnam. And his daughter had an abusive husband, and she went through all this trauma. So his life was just filled with all this regrets, that he wished he could have changed things, that he could have made things better. And that was Sam's driving force in the original Quantum Leap. He wanted to make things better because he wasn't he wasn't strong enough. He wasn't quick enough. He wasn't there for his family when they needed him. That was Sam Beckett's driving force. That's why he built Project Quantum Leap. That's why he wanted to travel through time. He wanted to travel through time to make things better. But he never, I mean, that's what Quantum Leap was about. It was about one person, no superpowers, no superpowers, just a holographic friend giving him some information when he could. And Sam trying to fix things, and things always went wrong. But it was about someone who was trying to do things and make things better for everyone. He wasn't doing things for himself. He was doing it for people around him. He was a genuine Boy Scout, And you had him as a Boy Scout, but then you had Dean Stockwell playing Admiral Al Calavici, who was, he was a lecherous womanizer, who always made these snarky remarks, calling people, just a douchebag. He would call him like a nozzle, and get this guy. He always had these comments, and it was a good balance. I don't feel that balance between Addison and Ben. I really don't. Addison is still talking to him like he's someone she's working with. For two people who are engaged, she should be talking to him much differently. And yes, he does know that he's engaged to her, and that they're supposed to get married. I mean, you would think that she would be showing more emotion, more concern, but I really don't see that in her. And I think that's what the show is lacking. Now, this episode, there's a war games type situation that's at sea, and Ben leaps into the operations officer, who's there to help. What they originally think is to help prevent her father, Addison's father, from being, part of a situation that would ultimately cost 100 and some odd souls, 100 and some odd sailors die. But it wasn't his fault. It was his captain's fault. And he idolized this captain because this captain even sponsored him for officer school and everything. So, I mean, how do you cross the person who pretty much raised you or, made your life the way it is today? I mean, that's a pretty tough decision. I think Brandon Routh was amazing in it. I hope we see him again in the future or the past. It is time travel, so anything is possible. But I mean, there's so much that I think is missing from there. I mean, I'm hoping we're going to see a lot more. We had Ian talk to Jen and Magic, and he's like, well, I don't know. I can't tell what happens because this is obviously a future me, And, we did have Magic talk to a colleague of his. We didn't get a whole lot of story development in the present. Other than, again, Ziggy was running slow. This has been something that has not on every episode, but in the first few episodes this was happening, and now it's happening again. I think this is a hidden clue that everyone else is missing. I see a lot of fans posting on Facebook and Instagram and Twitter about this, about other things about the show. But why would Ziggy, the state-of-the-art parallel hybrid computer that can project theories on why Ben is there or track Ben throughout space and time, how is this computer running slow at times? That doesn't make sense unless someone is accessing Ziggy or someone is trying to draw data out of Ziggy. We saw this in the first 4 or 5 episodes, and everyone, including me, was thinking that it was Janice who was hacking into him. But guess what? Janice is there at the project being held as a prisoner, as an in-house prisoner there. So it just doesn't make any sense, Ricardo says, hey, Freya, sorry, my friend. I am cooking. I was knifing some vegetables. Well, make sure those killer tomatoes are dead, man. It doesn't hurt to slice them up into multiple pieces. So, don't just do the stab once, double shot, there you go. But yeah, I mean, there's certain things that I think are missing. I mean, if I was running a government funded project on time travel, and my main computer was running slow as hell, you can guarantee it. I would be on everyone saying, okay, what's going on? You know what? Okay, if our computer's running slow, I want everything firewalled off, basically creating a wall around everything. I don't want any outside network access of any kind. I mean, I do tech support. So, I mean, or at least until the end of the week I do. More to come. I mean, there's just certain things that are gaps in the story that aren't making a whole lot of sense. That's kind of how I'm at. That's where I'm at with all this. There's a whole lot that just does not make sense. And it's these little plot lines. Now, when everything is said and done, Addison gets this big reveal that her father is this caring person, this emotional person, this person who has so much concern for family. It's surprising her, and she does show some emotion, but it doesn't feel natural. When you're talking to someone and they're telling you something, and you're just not feeling what they're saying, you think they're just saying it just to say it. It kind of makes you feel a certain way. Like, it's like, really, this is what you're going with? This is what you're going with, really? So, I mean, that just, I don't know, it just doesn't sit right. As someone who, I mean, I love stories, okay? I love stories. I love complications. I love twists and turns. I love things that we don't see coming at us, okay? I love character development, okay? You guys will laugh. One of my favorite movies is Back to the Future, along with Ghostbusters. But also, there's some favorites of mine that you guys might not be aware of. Short Circuit. Short Circuit and Short Circuit 2. Number 5, you'll laugh. But Short Circuit 2 really has so much character development. Because Short Circuit 1 is kind of a plot line. This robot gets struck by lightning, and he's suddenly alive. And everyone thinks it's just crazy computer programming that is making him act this way. But he gets turned off, and he wakes himself. He's able to do things, and he proves them that he really is alive. But the second one, he goes to the big city. He's trying to help out a friend. And, there's a scene where, he's going to a bookstore. He grabs 2 books that he says, I need to read these carefully. And he gets arrested because they just think this is some kind of like, candid camera kind of prank thing. And while he's locked up in jail, he's reading 2 books. And he's not, because when Johnny Five reads, he speed reads, right? He's reading these books page by page, very slowly. And when his friend comes to get him out of jail, he hands the books to his friend. It was Pinocchio and Frankenstein. There's even a scene where Johnny Five gets trashed, like he gets beat up, tore up from the floor up. He's his one arm is smashed, his eyes damaged, he's bleeding battery fluid. He's literally slowly dying, and you see him trying to piece himself together. And even though he's slowly dying, he gets repaired, but through a friend of his. He repairs himself, patches him up basically, but he's running out of time. But he still wants to go after the bad guys who did this and who also kidnapped his friends. He wants to bring justice. That's character development. You go from a robot to showing that he's really alive, and he's he could die any second, but he wants to stop some bad guys. I mean, that's a zero to hero, and that's the kind of stories I love. Anytime you get someone who is a nobody and they can step up and be a hero. I mean, there's so many stories out there. I mean, we don't get stories like we used to. We really don't. Quantum Leap, the original Quantum Leap goes to this. Quantum Leap, I mean, you get a smart scientist who, he's thrown into space and time, and he's doing all these amazing things. He's risking his life from life to life. He has no superpowers, but he's doing all these great things because he wants to help people. He wants to make the world a better place. And he doesn't realize that he's making the world a better place by helping these people. Let's say I help 5 people. Well, maybe those 5 people go on to help 20 people. And those 20 go on to help 50 people. And so on and so forth. It can create a big ripple effect. Space and time, we talk about, hey, if you go back in time and you change something, you can create a ripple effect. Well, sometimes that ripple effect isn't so bad. Look at Back to the Future. Marty McFly accidentally goes back in time, meets his parents as teenagers. The mother falls for him. That's another story we won't get into. But he has to play matchmaker for his parents. Otherwise, he'll never be born. And then when he returns back to the future, it's in the title, guys. When he returns back to the future, his life is about 10 times better than it was. His family was very poor. His brother was working at Burger King. Now he returns to the future. His father is an author. He's no longer a lackey working under Biff Tannen. His mother, she doesn't look like a chain-smoking alcoholic. And his brother works at an office. The home looks fantastic. Everything looks amazing. And he even has a pickup waiting for him. You know, I mean, you just never know. If you put your mind to it, you never know what can happen. And I just hope that Quantum Leap starts to get that going on. They need to find that kind of, I have to use the word magic. I mean, the one thing that has been keeping me interested in Quantum Leap. Well, okay, there's a few things. One is the hope that we'll see Scott Bakula and we'll find out what happened to Sam Beckett. That's one of my hopes. Second, I like to see where the future is going, because we have magic there, and I just think it's going to be a very interesting story. Martin Giroux, who is one of the guys behind Blind Spots and a few other TV shows, he's part of this show as well, and I know he makes he writes some amazing stuff, and he's a great showrunner, and I really want to see where he takes this. I mean, at some point, I think that we're going to see different leapers or different observers. Ben does run into Martinez, who's the evil leaper, or another leaper that he ran into, who threatened Ben's life in the Old West. And, I mean, obviously, now he looks slightly older, too. So this is an older version of that same person. Or at least it appeared that way to me. I'm not too sure. But you know, we get this little mystery, like he you know, he's like, yeah, I was helping you, or were you helping me? You know, he actually says that in the show. And then we see him leap away, and then the person he leaped into is there again. And, you know, of course, that person's acting a little befuddled, a little kind of turned around, doesn't know what the hell's going on. So, and it's cool that we actually see a very cool quantum leap effect away from Ben on someone else. And I'm slowly coming around to the leaping effects. They don't do a whole lot of sci-fi, a whole lot of special effects. You know, we don't get a lot of CGI. You know, we had that blue aura. You know, we had the blue aura with the electricity when Sam would leap. We don't get that with this, and I kind of miss that. Just like I miss the imaging chamber door sliding open and closing. We don't get that. And I mean, come on. Addison with her little Siri type little handheld thing. I mean, come on. I miss the old hand link, you know. Let's say this is the hand link, you know. Al would be, you know, talking to Sam, telling Sam some things from a Gushy or Ziggy, and he'd be tapping, right? You know, he would be tapping, and like he would hit the side because the data wasn't coming up, or it would make a funky sound. You know, that was kind of the fun part of Quantum Leap, and we're missing that, I think. I don't know, maybe it's the personality of the actor who plays Ben, or maybe it's some of the writing. I don't want to say it's the writing. I think the writers are really good, but I think there's missed opportunities. Maybe it's NBC stepping in, saying, hey, you know, these scripts are great, but how about we get rid of this, get rid of this, get rid of this, get rid of this? You know, part of it feels like it's lacking at times. And I'm hoping it's going to find some balance soon. I just don't see much balance right now, guys. I really don't. But, I mean, we'll see what happens. And right after Martinez leaps, we see Ben leap, and he leaps into a female public defender. So I guess the next episode is Ben as a lawyer. Why not? He's been a medical doctor. He's been, naval officer. He's been a prize-winning boxer. I mean, there's a lot of different things he's leaped into, and I mean, we'll see what happens. I mean, this kind of feels a little familiar in a way as a lawyer. I mean, let's face it, Sam leaped into how many different people over the course of 5 years? But I really think we need to find out about this other project. Are they friend or are they foe? Okay? Are they the ones that Ben is trying to stop from ultimately being the end result of killing Addison? Or does Addison just die through some other means? We don't know. Does Ian travel back through our project, or is it through a different project? All these questions and more, we really don't, you know, they're really up in the air. But the real questions I have is, where is the show going? We know that Ben's leaps are, you know, part of like a slingshot going back and forth, gathering momentum through quantum and through time. You know, kind of like, you know, if you're going down certain roads, you kind of slow down. And then you have to speed up, and then you slow down, and make this turn, make that turn. That's pretty much Ben's journey right now. At some point, it looks like he's going to be leaping to the future, But at what point in the future? We don't know. For all we know, it could be saving Addison when she's 67 years old. We don't know. Also, this episode did touch base on one very important thing, guys. It touched base on the possibility of, because Ben was, basically interacting with her father, could that result in Addison never becoming a part of the project? That would have been cool. It would have been a nice little clapback to something that happened in the original show, because there was an episode when Al was young, young Al, was going to be arrested, and because something happened, and thanks to Sam's interaction, someone wasn't stopped, and then someone had died, thus resulted in young Al being charged with a crime. And at one point, Al vanished, and he was replaced by another observer. So it would have been cool to see some kind of a change like that happen. That would have been pretty cool. But obviously, if you didn't have Addison, then maybe Ben wouldn't have leaped to begin with, and that could have been a major paradox, and that could be a whole season cliffhanger right there, guys. That could be something that could just twist the whole Quantum Leap, the current Quantum Leap series altogether. But it would have been cool to kind of dig a little deeper into that. But I thought that was a nice little clapback, a nice little Easter egg, if you will. I like seeing Magic, interacting more. Ernie Hudson's a favorite of mine. Come on, Ghostbusters, obviously. He's acted in so many great things, and I love seeing that he's in such demand right now. He's been an amazing actor. He's been acting his entire life. From like movies like Weeds with Nick Nolte. He's been in so many different things. He's always going to be Winston Zedmore to me, okay? And I'm not the last person to say this. Winston really, they finally, I think at the end of Ghostbusters Afterlife, they finally gave, Ernie Hudson, that little bit of flavor, that little bit of taste that, because Winston is a wealthy businessman who can, buy the firehouse, who can restore the Ghostbusters. They even did that in Ghostbusters Spirits Unleashed, the video game that you can get on PlayStation, PC, and also on Xbox. Obviously, I play it. By the way, PlayStation tag is Daves_Dimension, just in case you want to add me. But he's in a lot of demand. He's done a lot of Netflix shows. He's all over the place. Of course, he's on Quantum Leap. There's a lot of hesitation right now. There's a lot of gossiping going on that he may or may not be a part of Ghostbusters Afterlife, the next Ghostbusters movie, Ghostbusters Firehouse. We'll see what happens. But Ernie Hudson, at his age, he's still spry. He still has a lot of energy, a lot of pep to him. I want to see where this is going to go. I've even said this before. I wouldn't mind seeing him leap. Maybe there's a situation where Addison is indisposed, where something is going on, and the only way to save Ben is maybe for him to leap to Ben to help him out. We've heard Magic talk about this group as a family. That they're like family to him. That this is family. If you need something, I'm here. Come to me. I really hope that we get more of that. But we'll see what happens. Quantum Leap is right now. I think it's kind of find its direction right now. The show is very much like Ben right now. It's kind of going left, right, and it's just all over the place. At least that's where it kind of feels like. We haven't seen or heard a mention of Janice in the past few weeks. It just begs the question. There's a lot of questions we want to know. What happened to the original project? Was it completely dismantled? Is the original accelerator and imaging chamber still in, Stalin's Gate, New Mexico? Is it still there? What happened to Janice's imaging chamber that she built herself? Did the government seize that? Did they dismantle it? Is it being housed somewhere? The mysterious senator or congresswoman who was trying to get information about Project Quantum Leap, and when she's also the same person that Magic said, hey, when we perfect Quantum Leap, we will save your brother who died. I'm still thinking that maybe she's the linchpin. Maybe she's the missing piece that we're not realizing, that she's the one that sets up another project in the future, and they're the ones who are running Martinez and who else through time, space and time. We don't know. There's a lot of questions we have yet to ask. And hey guys, anyone in the chat, if you're still in the chat, I want you guys to give me a thumbs up. If you're enjoying the stream, you like hanging out, hearing this crazy guy talk. Give me that thumbs up. We got 9 likes. I want to thank you guys. We got, looks like, let's see how many we have watching right now. We're going to refresh the stream right now. It looks like we have 5 watching. I want to thank you guys. By the way, guys, if you notice, there's a little QR code in your upper left-hand corner of the screen. That QR code is a direct donation link to the Ride for Roswell. Now, those that don't know, every year, well, I started the stream last year. I did Stream for the Cure. It's an annual a fundraiser here in Dave's Dimension where we do an 8-hour or 10-hour stream, depending on prizes, to fundraise for Roswell Park Comprehensive Cancer Institute. Here in Buffalo, New York, we have a cancer institute and research facility known as Roswell Park. We all know cancer doesn't care who you are, what your color is, how tall you are, what ethnicity you are. It doesn't care what your health status is. Cancer just doesn't care. It will strike anyone down, whether you're a child or whether you're 99 years old. It'll come for you, and it doesn't give up, okay? Now, we should not give up on cancer either. So what I do is, my wife, for the past 9 years, has been riding in the Ride for Roswell. It's an annual bike riding fundraiser. It's an annual charity bike ride, and we fundraise year-round to raise proceeds that benefit Roswell Park Comprehensive Cancer Institute. Now, that QR code, if you click on that, that will take you directly to Roswell Park's donation page. Okay? The money doesn't go through me at all. It goes directly to Roswell Park. Every nickel, every dime, every penny, every cent, every dollar you donate goes to Roswell Park, and it helps them. They have been developing brand new vaccines that are prolonging people's lives, that are battling cancers. It's all about, one, finding better treatments, okay? Developing new vaccines that can help battle cancer and ultimately cure it, guys. And it's tremendous. During this amazing bike ride, and you guys can check out my channel. I've done a video on the Ride for Roswell last year. I'm going to be doing another one this year. There are so many people. It's not just people who are supporting Roswell Park. There's also patients of Roswell Park there. You'd be amazed how many people they have there that actually are cancer survivors. People who fought cancer and they fought it back, and they're out there on a bike doing 30, 40, 50-mile rides. Okay, guys? So please, if you can, it doesn't have to be a lot, even if it's just a few bucks. Right there, the QR code, you're going to click that, or you can go into the stream/video description below, and you're going to find the donation link to the Ride for Roswell, guys. So, guys, this is a channel. My channel is this. This is not a monetized channel, and sometimes I get people who ask me if they want to donate to my channel. I'd say, you know what, that's amazing and all, but guess what? I want you to donate to Roswell Park first, okay? Donate to Roswell Park. The QR code is right up there, guys, or go to the video description below. Could things be a little bit easier for me? Sure, but you know what? I'd rather help out those patients. Those that don't know, my own mother had skin cancer. She didn't die from it. My mother passed from, heart issues because she was a smoker. It was a lifetime smoker she was. But she had skin cancer, and skin cancer, it doesn't just have a physical aspect to it. It has a psychological aspect to it, guys. So please, a person who my mom had actually extra skin growth going from her nose to her cheek, and she'd have to go for laser treatments every few years from Roswell Park, and it made her a shut-in. It really did. She didn't like going places. She didn't like going out in public. It's stuff like that. There's a big psychological aspect. You get someone who's 6'2", and they look like Mr. Olympia, and maybe they developed pancreatic cancer, they developed a throat cancer, something that now, due to them having to go through chemo and other treatments, their body isn't what it used to be, and they feel terrible about that. They feel like, that they're not even who they are anymore. They feel like a shell of the former person. There is a big psychological, emotional aspect when it comes to cancer, guys. And that's what Roswell's all about. Roswell's not just about the vaccines and the medicines, but also emotional support. So guys, please, if you can, please go either to the QR code or to the link below and donate directly to the Ride for Roswell. That would mean a hell of a lot to me, guys. And I mentioned this during this show because Quantum Leap is about striving to make right what once went wrong. Let's face it. Someone gets diagnosed with cancer. Nobody deserves cancer. Nobody should ever get cancer. I'm sure you guys will agree with me on that. No one should ever get cancer. And that's why I'm bringing this up, because Quantum Leap is about making things right that once went wrong and hoping each time that the next leap will be the leap home. Well, hoping each year that the next year will be the year that there's cures for cancer and that there will be no cancer. That's what it's about, guys. So, guys, I know this is kind of a... we're almost at 9 o'clock. We've got about another 11 minutes. We'll take it to 9 o'clock. This is what happens when it's just me. I just ramble on and I kind of give an abridged version of everything. But, guys, let me know, Collecting with Cool, if you're still in chat, how do you feel about the current Quantum Leap? Or what is something you would like to see happen? Let's catch up here. Ricardo says, hey, that's when he was stabbing tomatoes. Mr. B, I know that all too well. I know you do, Mr. B. And Mr. B, once again, thank you last year for what you did. Mr. B helped with the stream for the cure. I will be doing a stream for the cure again this year. I don't know if it's going to be as big as it is, but we're still going to do at least an 8-hour stream. And it's just going to be, in case you're new to the channel or you weren't here for last year, which is probably a good chunk of you, actually. Last year, I did an 8-hour stream. I had Mrs. Dimension helping out. We did donations. We did raffles. Last year, we aimed for 8 prize wheels, 1 wheel per hour. And what I did was I took everyone who donated, because what you can do... Actually, let me see if I can pull this up right now. Right now. Not now, but right now. Let me just move this over. I'm going to pull this up because because the way that the Ride for Roswell does, you can go to the Ride for Roswell and you can type in a rider's name and then you can donate directly to them. The QR code I have up there in the link below takes you directly to that point. Okay. Or you can go and you can search on Facebook. I do have those that are friends with me on Facebook. I have a donation link that I have a fundraiser going on there, and that goes directly to Roswell Park as well. But I just want to show you guys, this is pretty much what we're doing. Let me see if I can pull that up. There we go. Okay, so here we are. This takes you directly to the donation page. Okay, you can choose 20, 50, or 30, 50, 100, or you can just choose like you can probably do like a $5 amount. It says, oh, you can't do that. Invalid amount. Let's see, what's the lowest they'll accept? What is it? $10. Yeah, so you can do $10, and then you just fill in your information, and that goes directly to Roswell Park. Okay? Now, just to show you guys, it won't show that. Okay. Well, that's lousy. Okay. But it goes directly to Roswell Park Comprehensive Cancer Institute, guys. Last year, we raised $1,300. Right now, we're at $525. The Ride for Roswell fundraising initiative goes through, I think, up to August. But the ride itself is on June 24th. Okay? It's on June 24th. Now, my first year, I signed up for the 10 mile, but I did the 20 mile because I'm a stubborn person. Last year, I signed up for the 30 mile. I did a 30 mile ride. This year, I am doing the 44 mile ride. Yeah, I'm psychotic. Come on, let's be honest. I mean, if you guys know me, you know I'm crazy. I'm doing the 44 mile ride. But here's the twist. I'm leaving the country. Now, I'm in Buffalo, New York. We border Canada. So I'm actually going to be going across the Peace Bridge over into Canada and then riding back across the Rainbow Bridge by Niagara Falls and coming back to the University of Buffalo campus. So I'm doing a 44 mile ride this year, guys. Yes, I am insane. Mr. B says that he'll be there again. I know you will, Mr. B. You're an amazing person, and I want to thank you for everything that you do for the channel, for everyone else's channel. So I want to show you guys this. So these are the different mile. They have a 5-mile ride. They have a 10-mile ride. They have a 20-mile ride. A 30-mile. That's the one I did last year. That was a river and endurance. But yeah, I'm doing the 44-mile route, guys. Am I crazy? Am I insane? Yeah, so start time is 6:37 and 7:30. I'm going to do I think I'm aiming for the 7:31. There's 4 rest stops. I'll show you guys this right here. Yeah, so by the way, Grand Island, I live right here. Right there. So I'm starting down here. Okay. I'm starting down here because this is actually where Roswell Park is located, right down here. So we're going to ride up there, right across the Peace Bridge, and then riding all across the water, all the way around, and then, literally Niagara Falls, Canada here, Goat Island, and then back over into Canada, or into the U.S., Niagara Falls area, right by our Seneca Niagara Casino and Resort. Yes, we have casinos here. And then, again, riding across the water until all the way around. Like, technically, I mean, seriously, I could just make a little turn and go home. But all the way back to the University of Buffalo, which is where Mrs. Dimension, she's only doing, I think, the 20-mile this year, I think. So she's doing the 20-mile this year. But yeah, 44 miles. 44 miles. I have to be insane. Insane in the membrane. Technically 45, because it's 44.9. So yeah, I'm an insane person. How long will it take me to ride that far? I don't know. I really don't know. But, I mean, it probably maybe 2 hours, maybe? I don't know. 2 or 3 hours? Now, also, here's the thing. Let me see if I can bring this over here. Will it let me do that? No, won't let me do that. Let me just, let me unlock this here. Okay, so, let me see if I can open this up a little bit. No, it won't let me open it up. Okay. What I'm trying to show you guys is there is actually a $750 minimum donation that has to be accrued before I can take part in this. So right now we're at $525, so I still need to raise another $225, which I'm very confident we'll be able to do. Last year we did raise $1325, I want to say is what we raised last year. I have some prizes that I'm already gathering. I have a few prizes. We'll get some more. But yeah, I'm doing this. I want to say, what's the estimated time? They're not even showing me the estimated time on here. But I have to be across by 10:30. I have to cross back into the U.S. by 10:30. I'm pretty sure I can do that. Plus, my little secret weapon is, well, because I'm asthmatic and I have a hard time riding up inclines, especially steep inclines with my asthma. That's another reason why I'm going for an e-bike, electronic bike. So that's going to help me with the incline. So there is a pedal assist that's on there. So I'm going to use the pedal assist when I'm going up the bridge. But when I'm doing my regular bike riding, that's just going to be my own power. So, but some of these e-bikes are also rated for people who are 400 and up. I'm not 400. I'm 370 right now. But I'm going to be doing a lot of training this year, mostly on the weekends. Last year I was doing like 15-mile trips, 15-mile routes. I think I'm going to amp that up this year because I really need. Ideally, I want to lose. You guys might laugh at this. I want to lose at least 20 to 30 pounds by June. That's my goal. That's my goal, and I'm going to do it. Just like I'm going to raise as much as I possibly can for the Ride for Roswell this year, guys. But guys, it is 9 o'clock. We had a small gathering here, guys. I want to appreciate everyone who stopped through the Dimension tonight for our Leapcast. Next week, I'm not sure. I'm going to try to do another Leapcast, depending on how it goes. Next week, Tuesday, I will be on Dre Geek Dad. I will be on his channel, which is for anyone who follows Dre. Let me see if I can pull up his link. Yeah, pull up his link. I got his link somewhere. I'm gonna have to pull it up. I'm gonna share it with everybody. But I'll be on another YouTuber's channel next Tuesday from 6:30 until 7:30. So I will still be available to do the 8 o'clock Leapcast if anyone wants to join me. We'll have that going on. So Tuesday I'm gonna be it's gonna be busy. I'm gonna as soon as I get home from work and make dinner for me and Mrs. Dimension. I'll be jumping on Dre's channel. And then I'm going to be hopping over to my channel, of course, to do my streams. And I think tonight, we're going to do maybe a 10 o'clock stream. Let me know, guys, in the chat if you are going to be around at 10 o'clock. You want to see me do an unbox or two? Let me know. And maybe we'll do a stream at 10 o'clock. We'll see what happens. But there's a lot coming through the pipeline. At the end of this week, I am leaving the company I've been working for the past 9 years. I will be leaving them on... This week Friday. Friday is my last official day, so as of 5:30 p.m. This Friday, I will no longer be affiliated with a certain cable provider in the U.S., and I will be moving over to a new position with the VA. So yeah, I'm going from one form of chaos and hopefully to a much better work environment from people I know who do work in that office. It's not going to be an easy job, but it's going to be a fulfilling job. It's going to be an amazing job. Hopefully, it'll carry me into a better mental and work-life balance. There's that going on. I'm like, people have asked me, do I feel, how do I feel? Am I excited? I'm like, well, I'm psyched. It's something new, but it's also something scary. When you start, I'm 44 and I'm starting a new job. This is not something I necessarily plan to do. There's going to be a lot of things changing at home here. Hopefully there's better hours, so me and Mrs. Dimension can get more of our bike riding in, and we can maybe organize some of our family and life events a little bit easier. So we'll see what happens with that. There's going to be a lot of changes. Good changes though, guys. Good changes. Okay. I'm hoping to do a few more things. Also this year, anyone who is a major Ghostbusters fan, please hit me up on Instagram. There's a lot coming through the pipeline, and I want to, have everybody involved as much as possible. There's the Ghostbusters Day event at Hook and Ladder number 8 this year in New York City. That is going to be Saturday, June 9th, down at the Firehouse, Hook and Ladder in Tribeca. It's always a great time, and it's going to be an amazing time this year. I'm not giving any spoilers, but guys, it's going to be an amazing time, an amazing hangout. There are Ghostbuster fans from all across the world. Yes, I said the world. There's people from Germany coming, people from Florida. Just like one of my very good friends for like the past 3 or 4 years. I'm actually going to be face to face with him this year. My buddy Nick from the Daytona Beach Ghostbusters. I can't wait to see him face to face. Me and him, I consider him a brother, and I've never met the guy face to face. It's just like last year. Last year I went to Steel City Con in August, and I came across my boy, a guy who I do consider I consider him a good friend. Whenever I have questions about YouTube or anything, I always reached out to him. Sleeping Collectibles. I came across him. He was there with his son Easty. It's cool meeting these people that you've only seen on video or through social media. And last year we had a great time at Hook and Ladder 8. We're going to have an amazing time this year. It's turning into a bigger and bigger event. So next year is going to be the 40th anniversary. Buffalo, New York. If you're in the Niagara Falls, Buffalo area, Western New York area, even if you're in Canada, or hell, if you're in Pennsylvania or Pittsburgh, if you can get near Buffalo, New York, at the end of June 29th, 30th, and July 1st, that weekend, Nickel City Con is back in Buffalo, and you can guarantee you're going to see some amazing people there, including the Buffalo Ghostbusters. They're an amazing charity cosplay group based here in Buffalo. Obviously, they're the Buffalo Ghostbusters, and you can check them out at buffaloghostbusters.com or check them out at the Buffalo Ghostbusters on Facebook. I'm actually a member of that group. They are an amazing team of people. we've been around for, God, what is it, 13, 14 years now. And our main goal is Toys for Tots. Duffman's Diorama helped us out amazing this year. Me and him collaborated together on a fundraiser this past November and December. We raised over $600 for Toys for Tots. Duffman, I can't thank you enough for that. There's a lot of craziness going on, but this Nickel City Con has been gone for like 3, maybe 4 years. No, about 3 years. And it's final return to Buffalo. So Nickel City Con is coming back, and I can't wait because I've never been to Nickel City Con, not as a contributor or as a guest there. So this is my first time doing the con. I'm hoping to take that Friday off, and maybe Dave's Dimension will do some recording and maybe some interviews at Nickel City Con. So we got a lot of craziness going on, guys. So if you want to be a part of it, just let me know. Hit me up on Instagram at Daves_Dimension, or you can email me directly at DavesDimension78@gmail.com. Duffman, or wait, we got Duffman and we got Blue Sasquatch. Blue, we're just wrapping up the stream. Sorry. We just did a quick 1 hour stream. Oh, an hour and 5 minutes on the Leapcast. I didn't have any guests come through. We just talked about the past 2 episodes pretty quickly. There wasn't a whole lot of story development. And, well, I might come back at 10 o'clock. We might do an unbox or 2. What do you guys think? Anyone who's still watching, let me know, either in the chat or, better yet, if you guys want me to come back at 10 o'clock, message me on Instagram. Say, Dave, let's do a stream at 10. I'll do a stream at 10. We'll talk some figures. Hasbro's been dropping a few things here, and let's just say I'm not exactly psyched about it. So maybe we'll do a little bit of talking about that. We'll see what happens. Maybe we'll do an unbox or 2. I still have an NECA ED209 to unbox. I still got a Freddy vs. Jason to unbox. Hell, I got a ton of stuff still yet to unbox. Sorry, Lost Plains Civilization. No, you don't ever... Blue, never be sorry. Just be yourself. So, guys, until next time, this is Dave from Dave's Dimension, from the Leapcast, from the Imaging Chamber, saying, guys, you know what I'm going to say. I say it every single time. Well, before we say that, don't forget Quantum Leap airs every Monday night on NBC at 10 p.m. Eastern. You can always catch it the very next day on Peacock or the NBC app. And I'm sure it's slowly being syndicated or being aired in other countries. So, guys, if you enjoyed this, give me that thumbs up. If you want to see more, drop comments in the comment section below. Don't forget to donate to the Ride for Roswell. The QR code is at the top of the screen, and also a link in the video description below. And don't forget, guys, to share this stream with all your sci-fi friends, anyone and everyone who loves this. Okay, he says, okay, and in that case, I like sharks. We know you love sharks, man. You are a shark. You're a street shark, man. Don't lie. You're in disguise. We know it. But, guys, until next time, this is Dave from Dave's Dimension saying, keep on busting. And you know what I'm going to say. I will always catch you on the flip side. Take care.